Welcome back to a new video. Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2026, which is crazy because yesterday was like July or something, and I guess it's time that I start worrying about what am I doing this year exactly? Okay, well, first off, I'm writing books. I'm a fantasy author. One should not be in the least bit surprised that I am writing books. I will be doing some editing work because I'm also a professional editor, and you know, all the usual marketing and social media and content planning that comes with the territory of being a small business on the internet these days. But more specifically, let's talk about what projects I'm actually working on this year, or at least have plans to work on, because life is unpredictable and who knows what I will actually end up doing through the course of the year. However, I have at least some idea and some plans that I would love to follow through with, if at all possible. We'll do our best. So I've got my handy dandy 2026 bullet journal here, which has all of my plans for the year, as well as, you know, calendars and whatnot. If you want to see the video of me setting this up, I will link that in the description because I haven't properly figured out how to do the cards thing. I try and it never works. So it'll be in the description. Alright, going through, let's get onto my projects page. So we're of course going to be continuing with some of the projects that I started in 2025 and you know, need to finish. The first two of those being cozy fantasy novels. I am continuing in my Dragons of Amontir series. That is these guys. This will be the Windswept Sky and A Dance of Scales. This is a standalone cozy fantasy series featuring dragons, because who doesn't love a cozy fantasy with dragons? Anyways, I will be continuing with the next standalone book in that series. That will be tentatively, I had initially titled it as Rest for the Weary, but I think I prefer Let Sleeping Dragons Lie. It's about a innkeeper who wants nothing more than to actually own her own inn. She is still working for somebody else at this point, only she gets involved with a man who claims to be a knight, even though knights are extinct, and has to deal with all of the magical shenanigans that ensue, and it's kind of fun, and I'm enjoying writing it. That is the first cozy fantasy project that I'm working on. I'm also working on A Questing of Books. This is a fully standalone book based on a short story that I wrote for the Indie Fantasy Addicts Summer Reading Challenge anthology. That is this guy. Ooh, focus, there it goes. So this is an anthology they put out every year. My short story, The Librarian of Greywall Academy, was included in that, and people enjoyed it quite a bit, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, and so I decided that I was going to make a full novel based on that short story. This will take place about 2 years after that story happened, and it follows Anahita Morrow, who is the head librarian for Greywall Academy, as she is going out to collect a very rare and potentially dangerous magical book, and on the way she meets her, well, the bane of her existence, Laszlo Norgrivaldi, who was a student at Greywall Academy, working on his graduate thesis and doing his best to get crumbs absolutely everywhere. So this is going to have, you know, adventure and good food descriptions and all of that sort of fun cozy fantasy thing. It's very much a Grumpy Sunshine, with Anahita being the grump and Laszlo being the sunshine, and it's fun and kind of ridiculous, and I have no idea when it will be ready for publication, but it should be very entertaining to write, and I will keep you apprised. As much as I love cozy fantasy, it is kind of my new favorite thing to work on right now. I am also working on how to describe it? An epic romantasy that is a continuation, or, well, no, not a continuation, a follow-on of the previous series that I wrote, the Wing Cycle. That would be this guy. Oh, hi. Are we helping? Are we helping? Because this doesn't look a lot like help, my dear. Anyways, so the Wing Cycle, that is this guy. This is an epic fantasy with romantic subplot. Thank you, Willow. That's so helpful. Yep, so helpful. Anyways, so this is a complete trilogy that I wrote a couple years ago. Too many years ago. I don't remember when it was put out. I could look at the copyright page, but that would be depressing. And so this trilogy is complete, but I am writing the follow-on trilogy, which takes place about 20 years after that, and it features different characters, same world, kind of a continuation of how I left things, but different, and it also has dragons in it. It should be very fun. It's very dramatic to write. I'm about 45,000 words in at this point, and I'm only just getting to some of the more significant plot points, which is to say, this book will take a while, but I'm very excited about it because I have commissioned a wonderful artist, Allegra Pescatore, who is really, really good art, and she is going to be doing a fancy schmancy special edition recover for the original series and then doing the new series cover designs, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as a Kickstarter or if I'm going to just print a bunch of special edition copies and sell it directly through my shop, but I am going to be doing the fancy schmancy special edition sprayed edges and foiled covers and all of the bits and pieces there, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be absolutely stunning, and that's it. Anyways, that is much later in the year. I have no idea how long it'll take for me to even finish book 1, and then I have to start on book 2 because I do not want to publish book 1 without being completely done with book 2, just because I'll be working on book 3 while book 2 is working out, and so yeah. Scheduling things for marketing purposes and release dates and all of that stuff is kind of a pain. I write a book and I want it out in the world immediately, but no, I have to be smart about these things and do marketing and planning and anyways, it will come, I promise. I'm very excited about it. So those are the first 3 projects. Those are 3 that I have been working on in 2025 and I intend to work on and finish hopefully within the first quarter of 2026. And then, of course, I'll be working on book 2 of this epic romantasy trilogy, and I'll be working on the next Dragons of Amontir series, although with 3 books out, I might take a slight break between those and work on one of my other stories that I really want to do. I have a couple of standalones that I think could be really fun to work on. One of those is called Edgewood Manor, and it's kind of a cozy gothic fantasy story about a keeper of the barrier between Fae and elsewhere and the Neverworld and that sort of a thing, and the human lands, and how she can't actually leave her manor, which is the boundary, otherwise the magic will die, and then she makes friends with one of the monsters on the other side, and it's a whole thing, and it should be very fun. And yes, I do mean cozy and gothic at the same time. It is possible to do, thank you very much. So that'll be a standalone story, which I think would be fun to write. I also want to write The Pathless Wood. The Pathless Wood, I told you about the previous books I have written in a different video. I'll link that in the description box below as well. This is a series that I started writing when I was doing a strictly romance pen name, Evelyn Grimald, instead of my full name, Evelyn Grimald Stone, and I wrote this one and its sequel, and they were meant to be romance books, but they're very much fantasy romance. Yeah, anyways, so it was always meant to be a trilogy. My goal is to write book 3 and then get these recovered minor edits and things sorted out and then reformatted and re-upload with these and my full name instead of the partial name there. So that is also on my list. Those are very much historical fantasy romance. It should be fun. I need to figure out what I'm doing for the covers. I'll talk to artists and we'll see. I want to get the book written and then I can start doing the recover and the format and all of that stuff. So the other story that I want to write, I don't know if this will be a standalone or if I want to do a series. It has the potential to be quite a dramatic series if I do it right, but it could also be a really fantastic standalone. I haven't decided yet. And that is a story I'm calling Upon the Shadowed Path. It is an epic fantasy from the perspective of the hero's loyal hound. And I'm so excited for it. It's going to be dramatic and wonderful and full of magic, and I really want to get started writing it right away, but I'm also in the middle of like 4 projects, so it'll have to wait until later in the year. Anyways, so those are all of the primary projects that I'm working on. I have a couple of handwritten projects that I'm working on. I am doing a fantasy mystery with hint of romance in there, and that one I've been working on for the last 2 years. I've been trying to handwrite this book, but you have to understand, I only wrote like 7 or 8 pages per month. Sometimes I got as many as 10 to 20 pages per month, but I never really worked on it very seriously, and I love the story idea and I love writing the book by hand, and I really, really, really want to get it written so badly. And one of the things I want to do is just, you know, every day, just before lunch or when I'm done with work or whatever, just write 1 page. And if I can do that, then I can get this book completed in a year. Which brings me to the other story that I'm working on, which I have already made a video about, and that is the love story in 2 parts with this funky, weird notebook, and I absolutely want to continue with this story. It is not going to be anywhere near as long or as involved as the mystery fantasy romance book that I'm writing, but because you can see it's quite a bit a shorter notebook, and I want it to be contained within this notebook. But I want to make sure that I work on this consistently because I think this is an absolutely grand idea and it should be fun. So if I can do, again, like every day 1 page sort of a thing on those 2 different stories, then that should get this one sorted and that one sorted within the year. So this is going to be very much a year-long project. And I'll show you video updates on those as we go, and it should be very fun. And if that's not enough to be getting on with as far as my writing projects go, I also want to work on short stories. I have ideas for about 7, 8 different short stories that I think could be really fun. I really loved writing the one that ended up in that anthology. I thought that was a grand time and I enjoyed it hugely, and I have some stories that I think could be fantastic in short story format. So I want to do, I don't know, 1 short story a month. Nothing terribly involved, no more than 10,000 words. Just a short story, and they may not go anywhere, they may not be turned into anything except stories for my newsletter subscribers. I don't know. I will figure out the best way to get that to you people so that you can read what I'm doing as I do it, and I think that's just gonna be really fun. So that's what? Let Sleeping Dragons Lie, A Questing of Books, Fire Burning Bright, my epic romantasy, Edgewood Manor, Upon the Shadowed Path, The Pathless Wood, A Love Story in 2 Parts, These Webs We Weave, that's my other handwritten one, and a bunch of short stories. So 8 projects plus short stories. It's probably insane. I never write that many books in a year. I'm not that fast. I have editing clients that I work with also, which shortens my writing time. I have videos that I make, and I have some plans for videos that I want to do that are going to be really fun, and I do reading challenges, and I have marketing that I need to be doing for all of my stuff, not to mention pre-planning publication dates and sorting out release schedules and book cover designs and all of that stuff. It's a whole thing. But I am excited about every single one of these projects. I want to write them immediately, right away, right now. I'm so excited for them. So we'll see how many I get to this year. That is my grand plan for 2026. I'm probably insane doing all of this stuff, but you know, I love it. I love it so much. Writing is my happy place, no matter what I'm doing. It's just, yeah, I love writing, and you can't stop me, so we'll do what we can. Anyways, let me know what you think of these highly ambitious writing plans for 2026, and do you have any plans of your own? Because I would very much like to hear them and know that I'm not the only one who's got too many ideas and not enough time. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy new year. I will see you next time. Bye.